Hello, my name is Trigger. I am the bicycle in Hungary. I can't tell you how delighted I am at the prospect of a fat Brit sitting on me all day.
Jolly good. Okay, last training ride. It's Monday. Everything feels really good. I'm absolutely flying, in fact. It's really, really good. The sky's looking a bit black. I don't like the look of that. Yeah, I can't help myself. Even just now when I just stopped, my fastest time to that spot, where I normally have a drink and a wee, is 1 hour and 9 minutes. And with about 10 minutes to go, I thought I could beat it. Yeah, and I got there about 90 seconds too slow. But that's just me. This is going to turn into a time trial. I've got to be really, really careful, or I'm going to get myself in big trouble. But it doesn't come easily. Yeah, just under 100k in just under 3 hours. So yeah, not going too bad. Average HR was 129. And consider, yeah, the bottom bracket definitely seen better days, so I'll have to swap that. So this is the bike I do most of my riding on. Oh dear, yeah, the garage looks awful, sorry about that. Yeah, it's single speed, 44 on the front and a 14 on the back. In sort of like stripped down form, naked form, it weighs just a smidge under 6 kilos, so it's incredibly light. But at the minute, obviously I've got the pump on, the light fittings, tools, and yeah, I don't normally run this wheel, but this one has got a power meter on the back, so that'll be quite handy. And I've also got some slightly more heavy duty tyres on for this trip. Yeah, so like I said, just to make sure I don't get too over enthusiastic, I've got this nice 15 tooth sprocket, which should take the gearing down just a little bit, just to help me out. So I'll pop that on. Yeah, I mentioned the bracket, the bottom bracket was getting a bit weird, a bit crunchy. Yeah, generally not a good idea to change parts just before a big ride, but I've got to really. So that's that. And I also noticed the chain was looking really rough, so while I'm at it, I'll put a new chain on, I think. There we go, all done. Absolutely marvellous. Look at that lovely new chain. Lovely new sprocket. Excellent. I'll go out for a quick ride now. See if everything's okay. Here's all the old stuff. Chain looks well manky. And the bottom bracket, yeah, a bit rattly and very rusty as well. Thank you, chums. Done some miles together, but it's time to go. Yeah, so the end of a long, busy week, and I'm finally off. It's Friday evening, and I'm on my way to Lake Balaton. It's a fabulous evening, and the weather looks really nice for tomorrow, so very excited. I'll be there in about an hour and a half, I think. Lovely. So this is it, Lake Balaton. Somewhere between 205 and about 220 kilometres all the way around, depending on what you read and which route you take. So yeah, traditional starting point is here in Sherfuk, but I'm not going to start there. I'm actually staying here, where I've got a really, really cheap hotel, and I can leave the car there all day for free. So start from here at the crack of dawn. I'll try and get off for about 6 o'clock in the morning. Head around to here, which is my first sort of bailout, my only bailout point really. If I'm not feeling too good, or if anything's going wrong, I can just get a ferry across back to here and then just get back to the car. No problem. But that won't happen, I hope. And then this part is probably the best. It's got all the nice sort of resorty places and a few hills and mountains and volcanoes. Very scenic, very nice. And my plan is I'd like to be in Keszthely here for sort of early afternoon and have a nice lunch by the lake somewhere. That would be good. And then there's this last bit, and then back to the finish line. Yeah, so that's it. The course record is 5 hours 57 minutes, but I won't be anywhere near that. Under 10 hours would be absolutely marvellous. Right then, here we go. It's about 20 past 6 in the morning. Sun just coming up. Lovely. I'd underestimated a bit how bloody cold it is. 2 Celsius at the minute.
Yeah, hopefully it'll warm up. Right, let's go. Ah, look. First sight of the lake. Beautiful. It's very cold. It's absolutely freezing, in fact. No gloves. What a hard man. Oh my God. We're an hour and 7 minutes in. About 27 kilometres. God, that was bleak. I've had to put this big yellow waterproof thing on to try and keep warm, and I hate wearing it 'cause it's like wearing a parachute. But the sun's come out now and it's started to warm up a bit. And so my lips are so cold I can't talk. So yeah, I was almost at that stage where I was going to get off and piss on my hands, sort of thing, to try and keep him warm. But God, that was brutal. But anyway, the worst part, or the most boring part of this trip, is behind me now. I hate this first part. It's all like twisty between the houses, stopping and starting, turning left, turning right on cycle paths and things. It's impossible to make any progress really. But we've got Sheerfuck coming up in a minute, and after that it's a bit more sort of flowing. And yeah, I think I might have to get up and have a coffee or something because I'm absolutely bloody freezing. But yeah, so far so good. Zooming along. Bloody hell. Not even been riding for 2 hours and I got my first puncture already. Oh, at least the sun's out. Ah, all fixed. What a pain in the arse. Never mind. I think the stop's done me a bit of good actually. I feel a bit better now, second time around. I had a drink and a couple of energy bars and I feel a lot better. And it's got a lot warmer now too. That was horrible. But yeah, zooming along. Lovely. So now 40 kilometres in. So what's that? 1/5 distance. Good. There's a big hill here somewhere. And I'm fairly sure I'm not going to be able to get up it with this gear, so I might have to do a bit of walking in a minute. But everything's sort of opening up now. A bit more scenic. So the next stop probably is going to be Tihan, which is on the other side of the lake, which is probably about halfway round. Marvellous. Well, I made it most of the way up the hill. Oh. But I couldn't make that last bit. It just sort of kicks up a bit at the end. But this is the steepest mountain climb, I suppose, on the whole trip. So, but at least I wouldn't have got this far on that other gear, so I'm partially vindicated already. Onwards and upwards, literally. Yeah, made it to the top of the hill, and the view is spectacular. So we're going to go all the way around there, all the way around there, all the way around there, and there's the peninsula at Tihan there. And we started, way over there. So it's amazing the ground you can cover, really. Fantastico. 55 kilometres. And it's lovely. And I'm bursting for a wee. 55 kilometres. Yeah, it's finally warm enough to take this bloody parachute off. That should save me a couple of kilometres per hour. But yeah, the master plan is going well. For the geeky people, I'm trying to keep about 150 watts on the bike because I'm in like unknown territory, and I'm like a quarter of the way around, and I feel like I've already done anything. So I know what's going to happen. I'm going to get to the end. I'm going to be kicking myself because I should have been doing like 175 watts or something. But I'd sooner finish fresh than like grovel on my hands and knees. But yeah, we're averaging about 24 kilometers per hour, and my average heart rate is 117 beats per minute. So I'm not really working really. But yes. Ooh, blimey! Just in the nick of time. Ooh. One of the great things about this track is most of it is off road or off the main roads. It's on dedicated cycle paths. This one's a bit ropey, mind. It's I've only got one tube left, so I could do without any more punctures, really. Yeah, we did this. I did this with my partner about 2.5 years ago, but we didn't do it in one day. We did it in 4 days because she's not sort of quite as mad as me. But she went around on a sort of shopping bike with a basket on and everything, and yeah, so it was really heroic. Yeah, and considering it was 2.5 years ago, it's all still fairly fresh in my memory, really. I can remember bits of it quite well. I remember it was, I think it was the first weekend after the lockdowns finished. And the I think the whole of Budapest was on Balaton, just partying and going absolutely crazy. It was absolutely nuts. Yeah, mass drunkenness, shocking. With a shop actually, I need to sort of restock. Here we go. So how are we doing? 85 kilometres. All going marvellously. There's a shop. Yep, just filled the bottles. Got some more of these. These are always good if you they sort of like rescue you if you start to feel a bit crap. So it's always nice to have a few of those. And a sandwich I bought with me, and I think it's time to eat it. I think. It's bloody lovely. I'm really pleased. I haven't had the urge to go tearing around. I'm just really enjoying just being out for a ride. It's really nice actually. It's lovely. Loads of cyclists. Loads and loads of cyclists. Which is nice. And I've had people, like chain gangs go past me, and I've had, I'm like, shall I jump on the back? And it's like, no, just enjoy yourself. The one thing I've noticed as I've got a bit older, I've got really susceptible to like getting those hunger knocks. So I've been like making a point of every half an hour or so I've been like chewing one of those energy bars, and I'm going to have a sandwich now. I mean, I feel okay, but just I want to stay that way. Once you start to knock, it's just a horrible feeling. And I'm having a nice day, and I don't want to spoil it. Awesome. Awesome. So this is that little peninsula I pointed out just as I was setting off, and we're here already. So we're kind of about halfway around, and still feeling good. It's Tihanyi's perfect spot. It's lovely. It's on a big rocky peninsula out in the middle of the lake, and I did a video about it last year, and the links should be up there now. A bit more history and stuff, and anyway, let's go. We survived, yeah. And again, just to give you an idea of how stupendously huge this lake is. This is about the third waypoint, so we're about a third, and it goes another 2/3 behind me. So it's absolutely vast. And the abbey here, typically, it's got scaffolding around it. I'm not too sure on the history. I'll try and remember. Yeah, so there's the peninsula, and you can't see it, but on the top there's like a big castle. This is sort of like was going to be my bailout point, because from the end there's a ferry that goes across almost to where I parked the car. So my plan was, if I was here and I was dead, or something was wrong, or the weather was crap, I was just going to get the ferry across and bail out, but I don't need to. And it's beautiful. So next stop is Keszthely, really, which is about 60 kilometres from here, and then from Keszthely it's about another 50 back to the car. So, it says 65 kilometres on the sign there. So going marvellously. the computer says I've done 2,770 calories, so I really ought to eat the other half of that sandwich, I reckon. But I feel okay. I don't know why I've been so terrified of doing this big ride. I used to do massive rides when I was younger. I used to ride home and see my mum, you know, like Leicester to Norwich, and it's like 250 kilometres. And yeah, because I was a student, I couldn't afford the train fare, so I'd ride it. And I remember one summer, all my housemates had disappeared off home, and I was left in the house all on my own. And one of my mates rang and said, "Why don't you come down and spend a few days with me?" And I said, "Okay then." And it was down in Bognor Regis, and I jumped on my bike and I rode down to Bognor Regis from Norwich. So yeah, I know I can do it. It's just it's been a very, very long time. Ooh. The last 20 kilometres has been very, very rolling, very hilly. It's been a bit of a struggle with this single speed, but I've had to blow my 150 watt budget a few times. But we'll drop down to the lake shore again now, so it's a little bit flatter, so we can recuperate a bit. Yeah, so that's about halfway now, I think, and still feeling absolutely marvellous. There's a really strong southerly wind got up. It's not too bad at the minute because I'm sheltered from the wind by the trees, but the final leg is going to be like straight into the wind, which I'm not looking forward to too much really. Oh well. But anyway, we're still going marvellously. I don't know what was in that sandwich, but I'm riding like the clappers. Soon, and it's time for another sandwich, I think, and hopefully a bit of a shelter from the wind. Oh, this is where you really wish you'd got gears on your bike. Fucking hell. Keste, we made it. Just to prove it, well, it's 159 kilometres, which is, well, call it 100 miles. Oh dear, my bike just blew over, it's so light, never mind. Yeah, I'm feeling it in my legs a bit now. I've had to push really hard against the wind. But the worst thing is I've got a pain in my neck. It's a long time since I spent this long on a bike, but yeah, no problem. Yeah, so there should be about 50 kilometres left. Yeah. So it's just, that's it basically. You know, I feel absolutely fine. I was a bit worried I was going to get to this point and I was going to be dead, but I'll make it easily. And I think the wind will sort of, once I get around the corner here, I think it'll push me a little bit, so I might actually get a bit of benefit from it for a change. But yeah, absolutely marvellous. Absolutely marvellous. Yeah, Keste, it's a really pretty place. It's really strange. It's got a museum for everything. It's got like a saucepan museum, an oven museum, a palanquin museum. It's even got a sex museum, which is quite bizarre. So yeah, if you're into museums, this is the place to be. That's a relief. I was so busy filming, I lost the signs. I thought I was lost, but it's okay. We're back on track now. Yeah, the good news is the wind has dropped and I've got a bit of shelter, so we should be able to knock off this last 40 k's in no time. Yeah, and I was right. I went around far too slowly. I could have gone around a hell of a lot quicker. But yeah, I don't know why I had such a fear of this long ride. I used to do it all the time. In fact, if anything, I felt stronger the longer I went on. which used to happen when I used to race long distances. I'd always ride the second half a lot quicker than the first half for some reason. So yeah, I still got it. Right, this road's shit. I've got to concentrate on driving. I've been crisscrossing the train track all day. I've done really well not to catch one. Oh well, never mind. Choo choo. Kilometers. Ooh, we're about 20k from the finish now. I need to find a shop. I feel like I'm starting to run out of calories a little bit, so I could do with a sandwich or a chocolate bar or something. But yeah, we're nearly there. One thing I would say, if you're planning on doing this trip, is fit a bell on your bike, because in some places the paths, there is a two-way cycle path, and there's barely enough room for one, and you get, you know, as a cyclist, there's nothing that pisses you off more than people who don't ride bikes very often, and they've got no sense of etiquette or, you know, situational awareness or anything. So yeah, you get fed up of shouting, excuse me, so just get a big f***ing bell, or preferably one of those klaxons. Yeah, so they can get out of the way. Some volcanoes from the old days. So yeah, I had a sort of bit of a scare, but I've just gone and rammed a load of chocolate bars down my neck, and I feel okay now. So yeah, I think I should have eaten a bit more really. It's a bit silly trying to get around on a couple of packs of sandwiches and a few energy bars. But yeah, nearly there. Yes. Beautiful view. So it can't be too far now. Must be nearly there, surely. It's here somewhere. Oh, here we are. Here we are. Some of the crowd are on the beach. They think it's all over, and it is now. We did it. Holy crap. Woo-hoo. That's that. I am so chuffed. I've been wanting to do that for absolutely ages, and at the same time I've been absolutely terrified of doing it, but in the end I got round it easily. I could have gone round a lot faster than that, but you know, there's always next time. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. So now I'm off to Budapest to meet Kitty, my partner, the Hungarian in Hungary. We're going to have a nice weekend, sort of spa wellness weekend. I'm probably going to need it because I think my legs will probably hurt tomorrow. And it was my birthday on Thursday, and I wasn't able to celebrate because I had to go to work and stuff. So hopefully tonight I can have my birthday celebration. And after riding like 210 kilometres, I imagine like 2 beers